What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to install some RW rock sliders onto my GX470. Let's go. Alright, to give you guys a little bit more info on these sliders, this is RW's newest V3 design. What they did different on this design is that they changed the kick out and the rub rail. Instead of having two separate pieces, they actually just made one tube that's bent seamlessly to create a kick out and a rub rail. I think it looks a lot cleaner this way. What's nice is that they use DOM tubing for these sliders. So pretty much they're using the stronger type of round tubing. All the legs are fully reinforced and gusseted, as well as the kick out right there, if you see the round tubing right there. So their sliders come powder coated in a fine black texture. It's nice to have a textured finish because it adds a little bit extra grip when you're trying to use it as a side step. What I like the most about the slider is actually the kick out section. When I want to access my future roof rack, I'll have a much bigger step to comfortably step on when I'm trying to access the roof. Also serves as extra protection when you're trying to maneuver around tight obstacles when you're out on the trail. The kick out is supposed to help you push the car away from any obstacles that it might encounter. So that's definitely nice to have. Here's a quick look on the hardware that they provided. So they provided a lot of bolts and washer. They didn't include nuts because the GX and the 4Runner actually has threaded holes on the side of the frame, so they pretty much directly bolt onto the frame. If you guys want more info on RW rock sliders, you can go ahead and check them out on the website. I'll leave a link in the description, but let's get on with the install. Alright, so we're going to kick off the install with removing the stock side step, and the first step is to go ahead and grab an extension and a 12mm socket, and you're going to go ahead and remove the 6 bolts that's under the car. So there's going to be 3 brackets that hold the side step, and there's going to be 2 bolts on each bracket, so that's what I'm doing right now. What I also forgot to mention is that go ahead and unclip one of the harnesses that connect to the stock side steps lights. What I also forgot to mention is that go ahead and unclip one of the harnesses that connect to the stock side steps lights. Alright, so after we get that done, so we're going to go ahead and go to the front side, and there's going to be a little clip right there that we're going to have to remove. So go ahead and grab your flathead or your clip removal tool and remove that clip right there. Alright, so what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and open up the front and the rear doors so we can access the top side of the stock side steps. So along the top side of the side step, there's going to be a bunch of gray clips that you're going to need to remove. What I used was a flathead to remove this. I thought it was a lot easier than using my clip removal tool. So just go ahead and do that, and we'll move on to the next step. Ooh! Alright, so give you a little tip. There's actually 2 clips right here. I broke one. That's how I found out there are 2 more clips I was supposed to take out. So keep in mind that you guys need to take out these 2 clips for the stock side skirts to come off. I definitely need to go replace the clips because I do end up wanting to. I'm gonna go ahead and trim this part so I can have an end cap for the front, because the way it looks right now looks kind of janky. So if you guys want to do the same, be sure to take off those clips so you don't break them. But yeah, let's get on with the install. We're gonna go ahead and start on the driver's side. We're gonna need to remove a couple bolts on this side before we install the slider. So we're gonna go ahead and remove this, and then the 3 bolts that sit on the left side of the gas tank skid plate. I believe they all use a 12mm socket, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. Alright, so once you finish taking off all the bolts, what we're going to do next is, if you have a second hand, go ask for that second hand. If you don't, go ahead and grab your jack and your jack stands that you're going to use to help you support the rock sliders because they're super heavy. But what we're going to do first is we're going to line these 3 tabs in. So these tabs go in between the gas tank skid plate and the frame. So you're going to have to pull it down a little bit, and then you're gonna have to guide it in. But don't put the bolts in yet because you want to align the top section first. Once the top sections are aligned and you have bolts in them, then you can go ahead and put bolts in the bottom. so now I finally got it aligned. I'm gonna go ahead and put the bolts on the top side first. Also, you want to make sure your brake line brackets are sitting on the front side of this plate. You don't want to sit in between the plate and the frame. Then the bolts won't line up, or you might pinch your line. Just a little quick tip, you want to be careful when you're putting in the bolts. You want to make sure they go in straight. It's gonna feel like they're cross-threading just because there might be a lot of gunk buildup in these threaded hose since a lot of them weren't used. So just make sure the bolts sit in straight before you start putting them in. All right, so let me show you guys which bolts that I put in. So we went ahead and I tightened everything on the top side. So let's start from the back. So we reattached the brake line bracket and we put it on the front side of the mounting plate. You don't want to put it in between because then the hose won't line up. Also, there's going to be a threaded hole right here, and then coming to the middle, there's going to be two right here, and then towards the front, there's going to be one right here, and then there's going to be one on the top left corner. After you get all the top bolts in and they're pretty tight, then you can go ahead and start working on the bottom tabs. So there's going to be two in the front on the front tab, and then the last three is the gas tank skid plate. And after you're done with that, you're pretty much good to go. For the gas tank skid plate, I just went ahead and I reused the same bolts for it. For the OEM bolts, we're going to go ahead and reuse a 12mm socket. Alright, so the last step for the front, I don't know if you can see it, but we're gonna go ahead and reinstall the rear bracket for the brake line. So, and just like that, we got the driver's side on. All right, so we're gonna do a little door check. Oh, look at it, there's plenty of clearance. So we're gonna go ahead and start on the passenger side, which is even easier because it doesn't have that gas tank skid plate. So let's go on the driver's side real quick and I'll show you. I'm gonna try this side out without taking off the back, the rear bracket for the brake line. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys where the threaded holes are on the passenger side. So starting from the back, there's gonna be two right here. One that holds the bracket for the brake line. There's gonna be two right here. And then coming to the front, there's gonna be one on the top right corner. So as soon as I'm done torquing these down, I'm gonna go ahead and put the bolts on the bottom. So there's gonna be one right here, I believe. Yeah, just one, which is this bottom one, and then I believe the last one is gonna be this middle tab right here. I think these are here. If you wanna, there's no threaded holes for these last two tabs, so you can go ahead and put a self-tapping screw into the frame if you like, but I don't think I need to, so I'm just gonna leave it as is. Yeah, pretty much what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and just put the last two bolts on the bottom, and then
I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Woo! So after you're done tightening the bottom 2 bolts, this is pretty much what it looks like. You're pretty much good to go. Let's do a little door test, shall we? To see if we have enough clearance. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna trim the front caps in this video, but I will do that when I do a video on the trim on the front and rear bumper, since I need to replace the clips since I broke that clip right there. But yeah, this installing the rock slide was super easy. It probably only took me about like maybe 45 minutes to an hour to get the whole thing done. Might be a little bit faster for you if you have an extra helping hand. But yeah, overall very solid rock slider. I love the kick out look. It just has a really nice staggered look. It's just something about the kick out. Looks so good for me. Yeah, if you guys wondering if you guys have enough space to use these as a side step, we're gonna test it out right now. So, get in the car. And so this is the amount of space you have. I'm size 10.5, and I can fit about half of my foot, and I can comfortably just step on it and get into the car easily. So, yeah, definitely you can use these as a side step, and you can also use these to step on if you want to access your roof. So, alright, I'm gonna end the video right here. Thanks for tuning in. If this video helped you out, please hit that like button. I'll really appreciate it, and subscribe if you can. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.